Hi, and welcome to Let's Chat. I'm Janice VanDerAa from Keller Williams Realty, Boston Northwest. And today I'm chatting with Nancy Tighe about her floral arranging business, NJT Designs. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Janice.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. I'm so looking forward to chatting with you today about your new endeavor.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I love to see you framed by your plant life there.
I'd have more, but I can't fit them all on the table, so
Yeah.
just a few.
So tell me a little bit about your journey and what it is that you're doing with your business, right? NJT Designs, right?
Yes. So NJT Designs, my initials.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I have been a lifelong gardener. I studied art in college, so I have an art background. I've always worked in a field that was creative, and I've always gardened. So the past few years, I worked in the professional industry, the commercial industry, to learn the practices of exterior plants, interior tropical plants, and I went to floral design school because I kind of like it all. I love it all. So I do it anyways, and I thought, why not do it locally? And that's why I decided to start my own business.
Well, congratulations. That's really exciting.
Thank you.
So I had the fortunate opportunity to be a recipient of one of your beautiful designs. And so tell me a little bit about what it is that you're looking to do with your designs. Because I think you've got a little bit of a different angle in terms of the product that you deliver and then how it can sort of go on living forever.
Thank you. Yes, that is what I think makes me a little bit different from some of the other flower people or container designers. I really believe in sustainability, and I hate certainly with fresh flowers, oftentimes you enjoy them, they're fleeting. That's the beauty of it as well. But with the container designs, such as these, I like to use plant material that after it fades in the container, which you might have outside on your front stairs or on your deck, you can plant at least part of it, the perennial part or a bulbed plant, into your landscape. So you're not just tossing it all.
Right.
It comes back.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did with my hyacinth. So I'm I'm looking forward to seeing it come up next year. And I love the smell of the hyacinths. So,
Yes.
They just always smell so good, and it's right at my entry door. So I'll think of you next year when that comes up.
Well, and what's fun about bulbs is that sometimes you forget you even planted them.
Right.
And then when they come up, it's sort of a pleasant surprise, I think, when you see them after the winter.
Yeah. So what are you looking to accomplish in what kind of container? Is it all going to be container planting that you're looking to do?
No, I've recently been doing a lot of floral designs.
Okay.
I just delivered one to Arlington.
Yeah.
I've delivered several to Arlington because I'm from Arlington, and it seems a lot go that way. I'm familiar with that territory.
Yeah.
I do a lot of local deliveries. I've done vase arrangements for several people.
Yeah.
I also do baskets that combine fresh flowers with plant material. I really like that look. And oftentimes I do a basket that you could keep the plant inside. You could take the basket apart, and maybe it's a tropical plant and you can enjoy that inside. Oh. So I do that as well. I try to combine things that are a different, sort of different plant material, but that you can use in other ways. when you're done with the container.
So let's say you were to deliver a design like that to someone, and they had no clue about gardening or planting, or what would be the best way for them to know the value of what what you're delivering to them? Let's just say, you know,
That's a good question. I'm working on that. I just started the business starting in March.
Yeah.
I'm feeling things out and seeing what questions people have. That's one of them. I guess I take for granted that most people know how to take care of plants and some people don't.
Yeah,
So I'm going to put I'm going to make up some cards to enclose with some of my designs for care. And for, you know, an idea to, you know, plant them in your landscape. When.
Oh,
So when to plant this. So this is a grape hyacinth, a muscari. So
right.
when to take this out of the pot, how and when to plant it in the ground.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think that's a great value add to your to the arrangements, because it really is the beauty of the you know, the gift is its ability
That it can come back.
Yeah. So I think that's
so.
Yeah. So, you know, it's always, I mean, one of the things that I struggle with when I'm thinking about putting any kind of plant material together, and we've talked enough so you know that I have an interest in gardening and love to be outside and all that kind of stuff. But the knack of actually putting things in the container for me is a huge challenge. So managing to get the material in there and have it look the right way, I think is a real, you know, it's a real skill. So I just think it's a really nice, it's really nice to have someone that knows how to do it and what they're doing with it. And the fact that you have your art background, I'm sure, must play into, or does it play into your color combination?
Absolutely. I mean, texture, composition, color, and all of that.
What's your favorite part about what you do?
Golly, honestly, this sounds really nerdy, but I love learning. There's so much to learn. And the more I learn, the more there is to learn. Yeah. So in the floral realm, it's so interesting to learn about different flowers and what they like and how to treat them, how to condition them, how long they last. Yeah. In an arrangement, what you can do to manipulate them. So that's one thing. I love putting together plants outside. Yeah. I think it really adds a touch of beauty to any property or business. Yeah, yeah. And I think a good way to substantiate my claim would be to notice houses that have flowers outside, or notice a small business, or, you know, any entryway that has a pot of flowers, and notice something that doesn't. And to me, it's a huge difference. Yeah, there's a feeling that gets invoked, right? It just makes you happy, I think, looking at it. Yeah. So. And so tell me a little bit about where you hope to see your business go in the next 6 to 12 months. I would like to be able to hear from people that I've been speaking with online. Yep. I've got a lot of response, but I think the climate of the COVID-19 is, of course, worrisome for everyone. Yeah. I do provide safe practices when I go out. I am self-quarantined with my family. Yeah. I do go to the nursery, and there you order plant material and you pick it up. Yeah. So it's no, you know, there's not, things have changed in those practices, and I work alone. So I hope to get some responses and some interest from local people for their homes, and also for when the small businesses open up, I hope to add some beauty to their patios, or, you know, just a container on their bar or in their entrance. I hope to grow that way.
Yeah, and so we've talked a lot. So it's evident that the practice of your floral design brings you great joy, and you have a tremendous knack to share that joy, I think, with the people that you bring those designs to. So,
I do.
and I know this is a difficult time to begin a business with its own unique intricacies, but I think much of what we're seeing now will change a lot of what we do in the future. And I just think that there's, you know, great things ahead.
And I'm hoping to reach people that, you know, typically, you know, they might do it themselves, but they can't get out to the nursery, or, you know, older individuals that have compromised health that enjoy the flowers but can't really get out to do that themselves. And I love making someone happy in that way when they look out the window. One woman I did some containers for, and she was, quote unquote, over the top happy with, you know, when she looked out her window. So I think it brightens up everyone's day.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to share with us today about?
Yes,
Yeah.
I wanted to share that I have worked in different companies,
Yeah.
and they're very large sort of organizations and wonderful companies. But I find that it's a long way to change the practices of recycling and composting.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for a company that I enjoyed very much, but they didn't even have the capacity to compost because there just wasn't enough space.
Yeah.
So it's something that I can do because I'm a small operation.
Because of the scale.
So it's sustainable. I use pots, you know, that belong to the client, so I'm not buying plastic. I compost all of the floral or plant material that I don't use or that, you know, fades.
The
I
scrap.
compost that.
Yeah.
And I return all the plastic holding containers, the plastic pots that, you know, these plants come in,
Yeah.
to the nursery. So they either reuse them or they recycle it appropriately. So I just feel really good about that, about not putting it all back into just tossing it, bringing it to the dump.
Yeah.
Adding more plastic into our environment.
Oh, please. Yeah. So one of the real tenets then of your value proposition or value commitment is really to be producing a piece that is really as sustainable as it can possibly be for continued joy in your own garden, as well as minimizing the waste in the production process. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really feel very strongly about not adding, you know, more plastic into the environment. And I think we all need to be conscious of it on, you know, on all levels. So
yeah, I know I appreciate that in a way, you know, tremendously, because I know that's one of the goals that we're reaching towards in our home too, is in our home and our, you know, not so much our business because it doesn't relate as much to my business, but in my home is really reducing any amount of plastic that, you know, that we can. So I applaud that, and I think that's really an important piece of what you're doing.
thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me, and happy spring, and I hope to see you soon.
Me too, you.
Stay healthy and busy and all good things.